amazing ladies and gentlemen from across the world. This is your pal, Edwards here speaking, and we have got the Boss Ladies Summit today, and today we've got with us the amazing Nicole Nolan and Sabina Solowski. Nicole Nolan, Sabina, how are you both doing today, ladies?
Hello. Really well.
Oh, and Sabina, how are you, my friend?
Hello.
Oh, no, not too good. I've already lost Sabina, so there we go. Well, there's a great start into our legendary live stream. Hope you're all well, my friends. We'll get Sabina back all in time. Now, Nicole, it was great seeing you yesterday. And what's happening in your world, Nicole? What have you been thinking about? What's going on? Awesome, Nicole.
Gosh, there's so much at the moment. I'm traveling next week, so I'm really excited about that. Going to my home state. So I always like hanging out with people. And just, I'm actually doing a lot of creation things behind the scenes at the moment. So I love doing that. That's pretty exciting.
Oh, there you go. And Sabina, do we have you back? Can you hear me, Sabina?
Yeah. Sorry, I flicked my Wi-Fi, so let's see. Hopefully it works. Things are really exciting for me as well. I've just came back from Queensland, and now I'm going to Melbourne to see Edward on Friday,
Yes.
and then I'm going to Dubai on Sunday. So I'm very excited.
Oh, jealous. We're so happy for you, Sabina. Now, my friends, if you've just come in, hit that like, share, and comment. Great having you with us. Today's topic in Boss Ladies Summit is rising from rock bottom at adversity. And we're going to start by hearing these powerful ladies' stories and what it all means to them. Now, Nicole Nolan, let's start with you. Rising from rock bottom at adversity, tell us what that all means to you.
Well, I suppose the last nearly 3 years have been quite challenging for my family and I. So, as many people know, I lost my dad at the start of 2022, so just coming out of the pandemic. He'd been sick for a really long time, so it was kind of not expected, but he hadn't been well, so in that respect. And then 9 months later, I lost my husband, and he died very unexpectedly. So that was really hard to lose those 2 people who I was very close to. It was really hard for our family as well. And so it's been a big journey of change for the last 3 years. And so many changes have happened, and a lot of those changes have been difficult and unexpected. And I would say I wanted, but there's also been a lot of incredible things as well. And I think, so one of the big things I think with rising from rock bottom and adversity is that I've got a new understanding of that change, whatever that is, whatever big or small, is inevitable. And you can either look at a situation as bad or difficult, or you can actually flip it. And so there's a lot of things that you can do as a person that can actually help you to work through that change despite it being challenging or difficult. So that's been a big focus for me. And as a result, I've started a business from there and just made a lot of positive changes in my life as well, amongst all the challenging aspects of the grief that go with all of that as well.
Wow, incredible! I've known you for a while. I wasn't aware of that. So sorry to hear it. So you're like the lone survivor, pretty much, aren't you?
Well, I suppose there's, it's the biggest thing. One of the biggest aspects I think about the change process is that, and one of the probably significant things when Jared died for me was that feeling, because I've been married for so long, of that feeling of being alone. But in actual fact, we never are. And one of the silver linings of the whole process has been that so many people have either come into my life that are new, that have been incredible, or so many people, I suppose, that were already in my life, but it's actually strengthened those relationships. And even some people who were previous in my life that have actually come back in, which is absolutely incredible. So I think the connections and the people are actually probably one of the significant aspects that have actually helped me to get through that. And so knowing that you're never alone, there's so many amazing people out there, and they have shown support right from the outset through that difficult time. So I don't feel like I'm the lone survivor. I feel like that I've got just incredible support. So that's been amazing.
My God, Nicole. Round of applause to you, Nicole. I didn't know that about you. Incredible. And Sabina, what are your reactions to what you've heard from Nicole? That's been an amazing bombshell, hasn't it?
I'm so sorry, Nicole. I'm so sorry. Like I'm quite spiritual, you know, and every morning I sort of speak to God. I'm thinking about, you know, also lucky to have my parents, and you know, your parents are so huge in your life. And losing a parent, I can't imagine the loss, and then losing your husband so closely afterwards. So I'm really sorry to hear that, but it's nice that you've got an amazing mindset around it, and you've got family as well, so I'm sure they'll be helping you. But yeah, no, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
And Sabina, tell us your story. You know, it's tell us your story about rising from rock bottom and adversity.
I think for me, I mean, I think there's been a lot of adversity in my life, and in my dad's life as well, and that sort of like came on. But I've chosen. I think it was easy to sort of go into victimhood and think, oh, why me? Why me? Why was I this and why was I that? Yeah. But then I've flipped it and used it as, or I feel this is a bit of a superpower, is that because of that you can relate to so many more people, and you can help so many more people simply because you've been through those steps. So for me, it's like I'm doing this health journey, but it's only because of my own health obstacles and challenges. I was from a very young age, I had from the age of 13, or sorry, actually 8, I was taking a lot of digestive medication that was trying to sort of help me. And then I had significant mental health issues. So all those things I think were preparing me for actually being able to be in a position so that I could help other people heal. So I think flipping it is the key to actually, and using it as, you know, I like to think of that everything happens for you rather than to you. So, you know, they're actually probably the reason why I think I'm so good at relating to people on different levels, because I've been through where they are. I've been through every diet. I've been through mental health. I've been through those digestive issues. So, yeah, I think having the right mindset is crucial.
So just on that, again, I wasn't aware of that as well. There you go. I've known you forever and learning all these amazing things about you. So you had like stomach trouble when you were younger, and that led to some health complications, and you suffered from some mental health issues. Is that right?
Yeah, and I actually never very closely, my first year of university was really tough. I thought it was going to be really exciting. I moved to Big Smoke in London, and I was crippled. I was on my own without my parents, and I was very, very lonely. I was on the verge of anorexia and bulimia, and very disordered eating, and I was just like stuck. So I think all those things, and then it just sort of like skyrocketed. But it was necessary, because it was necessary so that I can help other people. So, you know, but anyway, got lots of junk there, but I think it's good. It's good.
Oh my God. I've known you two for a while. I had no idea. It's not until we do a LinkedIn live stream I learn more about you two, and that's just incredible. So,
well, it's not the thing that you really want to brag about, is it? But I think.
Hi, you, Sabina. Good. Oh, I suffer from anorexia, Ed. Great day, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I say it was anorexia. It was probably more disordered eating, but I would go for days without eating. But that was because of self-worth and all that kind of stuff. But I think now I'm sort of feeling, I'm nearly 50, I'm feeling like, you know, people probably need to know that, is that there are people that, you know, there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. And you're talking to a guy, as you know, a few years ago had binge eating disorder. So yeah, you're talking to a guy who had his own eating disorder. So now it just sucks. Love your work, Sabina. Love your work. So I just want to check in with our viewers. Thank you so much for watching. If you just come in, like, share, comment, we do Boss Lady forums every month. And quite often we have a huge panel. A few of the right people show up every time. And today we've got Nicole, Sabina with us, which is incredible. A few others coming in later. let's bounce back to you, Nicole Nolan. And you don't mind if I ask a few questions about what sort of happened to you? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. How did you flip it around so quickly? Because, it's, you're almost like a movie. You're like the lone survivor, so to speak. But I would have picked that. You're just such a powerful, positive, and in the zone lady. How did you mentally turn around that situation and work through it so amazingly?
Well, I think the first thing is that you've probably seen a couple of years on. So it's a process, and it's also not something I deal well with every day. So um, some weeks are hard, some days are hard, other days. So you just kind of come in and out of grief. So that's probably one thing. It's just not like it's smooth sailing and ping, you're okay. And I think that support network that I talked about was a big thing. I think the other thing is that, like Sabina, I went through prior to all of this happening for years and years. I worked on my own mental health, my own well-being, my own health and wellness, and there was a number of different points, as Sabina said, in my life that were difficult situations that happened with health or well-being or aspects that I had to work through myself prior to 2022 happening. So I already had a foundation of health and wellness, and I work on it every day, and I still keep working on it. It's not like it's a destination where you kind of get there and go, ping, I'm well, I'm completely healthy. You just have to keep chipping away at it. And every day I learn new things. So I already had that foundation. So I think particularly when Jared died and things were really tough, and I've got 2 kids, and I knew that I had to step up to support them, and then I had other people grieving around me as well. I didn't really want to get out of bed and tap into my health and wellbeing practices, but I knew that I had to, because I either sit in bed and just, not get out of bed or not do anything about it, or I can get back up and just try the best that I can. And that doesn't mean that it was easy. It wasn't easy at all. But within a few, and, I went through, initially I didn't want to eat. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't do any of those things. And I knew I didn't want to be like that, because I knew that, so I had to force myself to do some of my wellbeing practices. So whether it was, go to a naturopath, I went to my chiropractor within a few days, and I messaged, I've known my chiropractor for a very long time, and I just messaged him and his wife and said, this is what happened. I do not want to talk about it. And we normally chat. We're great friends, and have a great chatty relationship. And I still talk to him about the day that I went in there, and we just did not talk, which is completely the opposite to what we normally do. But I just tapped into some of those practices that I know help to regulate me and help me to feel good. So I think, having that foundation already was really, really helpful. Was the starting point, the connections. And I think after that as well, it's been finding my purpose. So this relates back to what Sabina was talking about. You get to either choose to stay in your feelings and not process that, or you can actually go, you know what, I can use this to actually help other people. And so I already had that purpose with helping people, working within education to actually support children and other people to learn about social emotional learning and human skills and well-being, and how to interweave that through education and home. I already had that passion, but it's driven that passion and even more, and being able to help people. And so that's when I started my business as well, because it just heightened wanting to support other people. And the other aspect I would say with all of that as well has been, I think the thing is that when you lose someone who dies so young, as my husband did, it really pushes you over the edge to go, you know what, life's short. You got to live it to the max, and you got to do what you love. And so so purpose, connection, and well-being practices have been foundational for everything for me.
Can I ask, Nicole, the fact that you have children, was that like an impetus sort of to push you even further, push you into like, right, okay, I've got to be strong because I've got to, that must have played a huge part in that. Do you feel?
I would say so, yes. Definitely. And I'd always want to be a model to my children of how to do that. But with that said, I do come from a strong line of pretty empowered women. I just got some amazing aunties who, just people that are just incredible. But there is an aspect of, that I've had to be really careful to actually be really honest with my children when I am upset as well, to know that it's okay to actually process those emotions and talk about that, because it's really easy to slip into warrior mode where you've just got to push through it. But also part of actual grief is actually acknowledging those feelings. And that hasn't always been really easy for me, because you kind of either flip between, I've got to go into empowered mode, I've got to do this, or I've got to get on with it. But at the same time, you have to take those moments to grieve and be upset as well, because otherwise you just bury it. And I've done both. And so just, it hasn't always been easy, I think, for my children to just kind of, to then be honest with them and say, actually, I feel really, really sad today. And that's okay to do that as well. So I haven't done it perfectly by any means, and I don't think it actually exists. You just kind of move in and out of it as well.
Not about perfection. It's about turning up. And Nicole, incredible. Yeah, Nicole, amazing. Just want to jump in as well. We've got coming right in from the green room, we've got the amazing Loretta Remy from Florida. Loretta Remy, big hello to you. Thank you for joining us, Loretta. Just quickly, Loretta, how are you? How's life?
Life is good. We weathered the storm well here in Florida on our side. Unfortunately, a lot of devastation in Florida, Tennessee, and North Carolina. So we're trying to help them as we can. But all is good with me. So glad to be here.
Yeah, so talk about adversity. You come in, it's like, oh, we just got hurricanes destroying our cities. So Loretta, you're amazing. And Loretta, we'll come back to you. Just want to check in with our fans as well. We've got amazing Tracy from Texas here. Tracy, we love you. We've got Michael Davis, one of my great friends. And we've got Christina Davey can't make it today. She's busy running around doing some work today, but she's listening. So Christina Davey, we love you. Just come in, like, share, comment. Today's theme today is rising from rock bottom and adversity. And I used to think my life sucked, but after hearing from everyone else, I've got it pretty good, so I got nothing to complain about. Let's go over to Sabina Sivlovsky. So my conclusion so far is my life has sucked the least out of everyone here. Let's hear from you, Sabina Sivlovsky. What's going on?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's good. Life is not a straight line. And especially if you've got kids. Have you got kids, Loretta? You've got kids?
No, I do not.
No. And I think life is not a straight line. And I think if we think it is, we're fooling ourselves. And if we keep on pretending that it's like that, then, for me, for my kids it all changed around when I had kids, my eating and all that kind of thing, the health rate. But I think for our kids, like it's not true. There is no straight line. There is bumps, and you've got to wait. You've got to navigate them. So, yeah, I think the downfall. I mean, like I said, my dad he came over from Pakistan to England. He had a bit of a rough. He came out with he's got 6 siblings. They lived in the village in Pakistan. Not really. Actually, had days where they had to eat like sort of grit. It was like millet, it was called. His teeth were actually ground down because that's all they had to eat in the village. And so he came over to Europe. He got stranded at the airport at 8 years old. Then he ended up 3 days in the airport. He had to survive without no English. He didn't even know what a toilet was. They had to steal bananas because him and his brother were there. And then he came to England. No one was there. He didn't know how to speak the language. And then
almost
eventually,
like Aladdin, or it always sounds like
well,
Aladdin or
it is.
something,
You
just
know
running
what?
around stealing food and being an
Well,
urchin.
I think I mean, he's very, he's very honest. But I think when he didn't even know, they'd never seen a toilet before. They'd never been on a plane. They'd never, him and his brother. And for 3 days they lived in the airport. It was like that film. What's that movie with Tom Hanks? Is it called The Airport?
Yeah.
That was my dad, but he was probably but he was 8. And I think about if my 8-year-old kid was, and this was in Paris airport, if my 8-year-old kids were having to live in an airport, I mean, they'd want sashimi. Like, they're not looking at. They're just
Maybe,
not.
where's the Wi-Fi? Sashimi? What the hell?
Yeah.
It's like Somalia around here. This airport's awful.
So anyway, I mean, for him, he always sort of instilled us in that, and then when he came to England, he instilled in us that about work ethic and about always mindset. That's why he's such a positive guy. And so I think that was instrumental, and it prepares you. That it's my mum and dad prepared me for the struggles I had in my life, so I could overcome it. So I think our struggles are part of our. I don't know if I've answered. I don't know if I'm speaking rubbish today, but yeah.
No, I love it. Sabina, just incredible, because it's funny when you talk about airports, my biggest concerns are, can I get into the lounge? Do I have good phone reception? And yeah, like, it's funny how, it's all just relative, just crazy. There you go. I couldn't imagine being stuck at an airport without 5G. To me, that would be terrifying without internet. So,
well, stuck in an airport, yeah, I agree with you. But yeah, it's funny how we've come on, right? It's all relative.
Yeah. Oh, Sabina, we love you. Just incredible. Let's bounce over to amazing Loretta Remy. Loretta Remy, so good to have you with us. Thank you again, as always. Feel free to hit that unmute key so we can hear you loud and clear. Now, just backtracking a bit, today's topic is rising from rock bottom adversity. Please, Loretta, I'd love to hear your reactions to what you've heard so far, and please tell us your story about rock bottom adversity, Loretta Remy.
So I believe that, like Sabina said, it's our lives aren't a straight line, and but I think every adversity or fork in the road or whatever major crisis might come to us helps us to prepare better for the next one. I think that with like with me in Florida, 20 almost 30 years ago, my first hurricane was Andrew, which was a very devastating hurricane. Didn't come near very close to me, but since then every hurricane or storm that's come near me has made me more prepared, because I know of the little things that, such as having plenty of phone chargers and things like that. So we're prepared for it and stuff. Mine has to do with my health. 15 years ago, actually, it started probably more like 16 years ago, I started having breast issues, and eventually turned into breast cancer. So I had to make a decision going into it was going to be my third surgery, and it was my third lumpectomy, they called it. And my doctor took me into the office with my boyfriend, and he said that this is only going to get worse. And, my biggest fear of the whole situation was, I had seen people go through chemotherapy and radiation and everything. I had seen how just all the side effects of it and stuff. And I wanted nothing to do with that, and opted for a double mastectomy, which I think was probably one of the best choices, but it was very hard. As strong and independent of a woman as I try to be, it really kind of, knocked me out for a while there. And it wasn't what I was expecting and stuff. So you know, I
Was it,
had.
if you don't mind me asking, was it more painful? Was it more intense? What was the surprise to it, if you don't mind me asking?
So, I literally, you know, you think, okay, surgery, couple of days, and then you're on your own and everything. It wasn't really quite like that and everything. I couldn't use, my arms above my shoulders.
Wow.
So the simplest things like, yeah, like even the shirt I have on today,
Yeah,
you
putting
just
on a
pull it
shirt would
on.
have been impossible.
Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Couldn't
Yeah.
reach into the cupboards to grab a
Yeah.
glass or even a mug for like a cup of coffee and stuff like that. Thank God, you know, I have Dave, who's been around for years, and he got up every morning and checked on me and, you know, made sure I took my medicines and stuff. And then he would set out a glass, a mug, a bowl, and a plate on the counter, so I wouldn't go into the cabinet, so that I could, you know, be
Well,
able to
that's
eat
so
something.
beautiful. That is
Yeah,
so.
What?
it was.
I like your boyfriend. What a cool guy. There you go.
He's a
You got
very
good
cool
taste in
guy.
men. Great. What a great guy. I think this guy deserves a round of a big thumbs up from us. Love Loretta's boyfriend.
Very, very.
He gets a double thumbs up from me. Yes.
Great guy. Great
So,
guy.
but it was, and I don't like to keep still. So it was very much a struggle for me after the surgery, just to, you know, kind of sit and heal, which is not what I wanted to do and everything. So it got a little frustrating, that too.
From that point of view, we're very similar, Loretta. Like you and I can't even sit for 5 minutes, let alone, in your case, recover from such an extreme surgery.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Can I ask as well, Loretta? I mean, as a woman, I haven't got, you know, boobs really at all to speak of, but you know, it's part of who you are, right? It's
Oh, yeah. That was a whole nother thing I had to go through afterwards.
Yeah,
because I felt like that I lost a part of who I was. Even though now, you know, now I realize that really wasn't, you know, but you think of womanhood, you think of, you know, when blooming, you know, as we went through puberty, couldn't wait to get my first bra and stuff like that.
And it's your home as well, right? It's your body is your home, your grieving part of your home, right? So it's another transition, like, so it must, yeah.
So it was a lot to go through. And but I found out that through it all, and it took me a while kind of to go through it, was the fact that it is what's inside of me, and the outside doesn't really make a difference technically. That you know, if you're looking for my authentic self, that's what's inside. And so that helped me get through it. But it was a journey to get through it, to figure it out.
Wow. Incredible. The bit that got me is, of course, yeah, if you've had a surgery here, you're not going to be reaching into a cut. Just putting on a top would be impossible. You know what I mean? It would have been excruciating agony, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
And Loretta, how do you feel now coming out of that side? You've learned a lot, I imagine, about yourself.
Now that I've come through, wonderful. And knowing that my chances of getting cancer there again is like so minute that, you know, it's like one less thing I have to worry about. Before I went through the surgery, it was like every month there was a doctor appointment. Well, we see something we want to look at. Oh, it's okay. Wait another month. Oh, wait, look, there's a spot over here. Oh, so it was like constantly going and like kind of, you know, you don't want to worry, but yet you're thinking, you know, what's going on and everything. And so now I don't have that anymore. So it's very less stress for me in that realm.
Incredible. Yeah, Loretta, just incredible. There we go. I mean, you ladies, what What a great life I've led. There you go. That's been my conclusion from all this. I'm
I know, Ed, you've got some. Your stories are pretty next level.
No,
Next level.
no. Thank you, but no. You guys win. Listen, you guys, ha. What gendered language I'm using? You ladies win. There we go. Well, what sexist gendered language I'm using? Let's hear from Nicole Nolan. Nicole Nolan, tell us what you think of all this, Nicole, my powerfully observant and smart friend.
Well, I think it just, I think, as Sabina said earlier, I think a lot of the takeaway I get from all of this is that our experiences happen to us. I think as human beings, we're meant to learn and grow, and we can take the learning in that and we can make the most of it, and we can then put that into service for other people. We can be a model for our children, but we can also just use it to find ways to actually share our experiences so that we can support other people. So I think you can look at situations as bad, and that doesn't diminish any aspect of things being challenging at all, or hard, or various times where you just think, wow, how am I going to get through this? But at the same time, I think we're meant to grow as human beings, and we can take that growth and we can put it into something positive, and we can look for the silver linings in circumstances that can help us to, move through those situations and then come out, in a better position. And to me, that's where I'm kind of at with a lot of that. And there's been a lot of learning or people that I've actually tapped into along the way that have actually helped me to develop that mindset. And so, there's so many people out there with that message. And I think it's really important when you are going through a difficult time to tap into those people. And so I guess I'm at a phase now where I feel like I can kind of pay it forward to the people who have actually contributed to me getting to that point as well.
Incredible.
That pay it forward thing I really like. It is jumping in. It is about, paying it forward, because everything that we go through, we can use it as our superpower to help other people go through it. Paying it forward is great. Yeah. Sorry, Ed.
I know, really good. I just want to say, incredible, Nicole. We've got a great friend, Mary Scott, with us. Big wave to Mary Scott. She's a great friend of ours. She's all about helping women over 50, which is pretty cool. I mean, I'm almost halfway there. Obviously not female, but I'm almost 50. There we go.
I was going to say, halfway there. Wow.
Yeah. Mary, we love you, Mary. Nicole, just incredible. And the other thing I was going to ask you, Nicole, and I'm going to introduce this new arc into the conversation, right? This is another cat amongst the pigeons I choose to throw. Now, if I look at you three ladies in different ways have had the worst things happen to you from different point of views. We've got cancer, being totally alone, and a sole survivor sort of backstory. Really good Amazon Prime episodes, by the way. So if there's any directors from Amazon Prime watching, I represent these ladies, so just speak to me, don't speak to them. So I now represent them. But no, great backstories. The other thing I want to throw in there, though, I want to throw the opposite at you, Nicole, and then work around the room. We see people who are the opposite. They have everything and they lose it all. They're born in positions of privilege, money, and power, and then they just lose it all or they go crazy. Nicole, I want to ask you a viewpoint about the other extreme. People who have everything and totally throw their game. Tell us what you think about that one, Nicole.
Well, again, just coming back to life experience, life purpose, or aspects. Are you ever losing everything? I mean, it's just, yes, you could start with what is perceived at everything, but at the end of the day, we've got life experiences, and how do you move through that? Is that an opportunity to grow? I don't know. I guess, and it just depends on viewpoint. Everybody's going to have a different viewpoint on what is everything. And like coming back to what you were saying before, where your perspective of listening to other people is that they've had, worse experiences, but have they? I don't know if that's true, because in actual fact, we all go through difficult times and they are difficult in the moment. So maybe for someone who is perceived to have everything, maybe they're meant to go through that experience, and they either learn and grow through that. So yeah, that's probably where I'm at with that.
Oh, incredible. Nicole, love your work, Nicole. Just incredible and in the zone. Just come in, like, share, comment. We're talking Boss Lady Say, rising from rock bottom and adversity. And continuing the conversation, Sabina Solosky, let's hear some of your reactions. Tell us what you think, powerful Sabina.
Well, I think when people do lose it all, it's difficult for them to get back up sometimes. I mean, there's some people that can just make it back up again. But I think the people that make it back up again are the ones that have already had that learning, had that strategy.
Yeah.
So if you've been born into privilege or you've been born into riches, it's difficult, I think, because if they do lose it all, they lose their mental health. They don't have the strategy that they've not developed a strategy to get back to the top. So I think it's more difficult to do that. I think I'd much rather be at the bottom and go to the top, because at least then you learn each step. But if you are at the top and then you go to the bottom, you don't even know what the steps are to get back to the top. So I think, yes, I don't know what that means, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking, is that they haven't got the strategy, they haven't got the hunger, they haven't got the tools. If we're trying to rise to the top, we've had to forcefully learn the tools out of survival.
Yeah.
If you've been given it all, you don't have those tools, so it's pretty hard to get back up there, I think.
Just to go off the back of that too, I suppose, is that, just from a resilience point of view with, say, parenting, and so this is, what I do with education is thinking in terms of parents. How do you? There is a need to protect your children from adversity, and wanting to protect your children to do that, and I suppose cultivating. So if your child doesn't win at a game, for instance, sometimes it's really easy to go, okay, so do I just make it easy for them and let them win? And I suppose off the back of what Sabina's saying, we want to cultivate from a young age that you're not always going to win at everything, and it's okay to do that, and it's okay to flip your lid sometimes when you're learning that experience. So if a young child was upset about that, then not necessarily just caving in and allowing them to win, to give them the experience to build that resilience, because I suppose, yes, resilience does come from things that you may or may not have asked for in circumstances, but you're going to build resilience by actually experiencing that. And that can come in little ways that you can develop that and cultivate that, I think, from a young age, which is really, really important to develop in children. But as Sabina said, it does come from the learning experiences that you have. And sometimes there might be things that you've asked for, and some, or just a little learning experience through a game, and sometimes it might be bigger life experiences. But I think the message is you can get back up regardless of the circumstance. It's not, as Sabina said, it's not easy though. It's not an easy process for anyone to go through. And I guess coming back to your original thing, Ed, if you've had everything and you've had that silver spoon and it's been super easy, then yes, it is going to be harder, I suppose, as Sabina said, to get back. And it's really not easy.
Incredible. Now, quickly, we've got Christina Davey who's coming in shortly. So let's get ready for Christina Davey. Drum roll, please. I just want to react to some of the great comments. A great one from Mary Scott. From adversity, we learn the art of resilience. So true. There we go. And Janine Cunningham. Janine Cunningham is one of our great friends and leaders from Brisbane. She makes a great point here. And she told me a little bit about this as well. So I'm just going to read it out. I went to rock bottom after being sick for 4 years, close to death. Getting back up showed me how resilient I was, and I had fantastic support from my husband, and also had the steps in place financially, so I was lucky. So big shout out to Janine Cunningham as well. Janine Cunningham was one of our great friends with an incredible backstory, and it's just been amazing. So we're just going to jump in. Drum roll, friends. We've got Christina Davey coming in. Are you ready, Christina Davey? Yeah, she's all ready. There we go. Christina Davey, how you doing? Welcome. Did you finish all your work this morning?
Yes. I was getting FOMO. I was listening to everyone, great insights and such inspiring stories. It's so beautiful to hear, how, Loretta went through a health journey, Sabina through, the whole immigrant coming here, you don't know what to do. You don't know the country, you don't know anyone. And Nicole, I love your insight. What you just said in last minute ago, right? Resilience. Are we putting our kids, in situations where they can learn? Because Edward, remember last night we met at our biz networking with you. We met that beautiful kid. She's 16, and she wrote a book about wealth.
Amazing, Gia.
I feel like this is mind blowing, right? And
Mind blowing.
I couldn't even read a book at 16, let alone write one.
Right? So it's really cool. So I just want to say that in 2018, I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. I was on antidepressants,
Really?
ADHD medication, anxiety medication. I was a zombie. And I went through a domestic violence situation too. I was beaten and struggled. And just because I was there in 2018 doesn't mean that right now I'm still there. And I think we need to really, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you get one wave after another and you really feel like you can't catch a breath. But the thing is that if you don't want to stay there, there's always someone's story, someone advice, someone insight, a podcast like this, right? There will be something that can inspire you to move away from there and just pick up and just start something brand new. So 6 months, no matter where you are right now, 6 months from now on, 12 months from now on, 5 years from now on, you don't have to be there.
Oof.
You don't have to be there. And sometimes we feel like we don't have a choice, but the truth is, it's just that we don't know the how.
Correct.
We just don't know the how. And
right.
when we get the how and we are allowing ourselves to be inspired, we can go through anything.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. And just reacting there is I can't believe you had borderline personality disorder and you're all doped up on medication. I mean, if you have borderline personality disorder, then I've got a personality disorder for sure. I can't imagine you're on medication. You'd be like, I'd have to slap you or pour some beer in you or something to wake you up, would I?
It was really hard, and I think the worst of it was that I felt like I got so lost. I didn't know who I was anymore, right? And then you get a professional, and I had this conversation with a client of mine the other day who, was going through like a really tough time. On Thursday, actually, when we are on the call, remember I had to get off because, she was going through such a difficult time. And she said, where do I go from here? The doctor just told me, that this is it. There's nothing I can do about it. And I said, a psychiatrist told me this is it. There's nothing you can do about it.
What a great doctor! What's such a motivational figure. We may as well just take you outside the back of the shed. And what's wrong with these medical professionals? Like, my question is, what cereal box did he get his degree out of? That's my question.
I don't think I'm not gonna choose a great person, so I have no negative thoughts about her, but this is where the science was, this is where the medical field was at the time. It doesn't mean it has to stay there. So just because I was told that there's nothing you can do, right, it didn't mean that I had to take that on board as fact. I just start researching. I start looking out for the person, for the methodology, for the one thing that will help me, and I made it through fine. And now I know how to help others, right, who are going through similar situations. So I love that we now, Nicole, Sabina, Loretta, we are here sitting and talking about what we've been through and showing others that we can not stay there and do something about it, because we are warrior ladies. We are both ladies. Yes.
Yes.
You ladies are amazing. As I was just saying before, because I'm a real professional. I'm Edward Zero and I'm a victim and all that. But I've just realised I'm so not the victim. So there we go. I need to. You ladies are amazing. Your lives have sucked compared to mine, and that's why you're so powerful and awesome. Big thank you. Let's bounce back to Loretta Remy. Loretta Remy, you are an amazing lady and incredible. Love to hear some of your thoughts and reactions, my powerful Floridian friend.
So to go back to what you had said earlier about when somebody has it all and then loses it.
Yeah.
I always think, did they really have it? Or were they just submerged in it? You know, if somebody is born with the silver spoon, as they say, then, they didn't have to invest in it, work for it, or anything like that. I always remember a story. My next door neighbor was gifted at her high school graduation. Her parents gave her a brand new, I think it was a Mustang or something back then.
Jealous. I'm so jelly right now.
Within a couple of
Who else is jelly? I'm jelly.
Within a couple of months, she had totaled it.
Oh, what?
Both my
Christina's
brothers.
Devastated. Look at Christina. You just devastated Christina. Sorry, Christina.
Both my brothers got jobs, saved their money, bought like these $500 cars. I mean, we're talking like 40 years ago or something. These like $500 cars, and treated them like gold. You know, they were washing them every day and they were checking the oil and stuff like that because they had invested in it. You know, it was theirs, so they kept it so well and everything. And I think that when you go through an adversity, whether it's like not having transportation and now you have to find transportation, and you work hard to make the money to buy the car, you're invested in it, and it teaches you some great lessons and everything about what to do and stuff. So I always say you got to have a little skin in the game, and every adversity is a teaching moment for us.
And just jumping in, poor Janine Cunningham, she's devastated as well. Hearing a Mustang crash, I think there's a lot of us devastated, right? I'm a huge Mustang. I'm showing my boominess. I'm a huge Mustang fan. So the idea of a Mustang crashing, I just find offensive. So I just want to apologise to Janine Cunningham, Christina Davies. If you bump into her again, tell her that you're on a live stream and all these people you're really offended if you damage your Mustang. So I got a problem with your friend. I got to talk to her now. There you go. No, incredible. That's so true now. Like, just incredible. It's just such amazing how you have people who've got nothing or have horrible things happen to them, such as you powerful ladies. And look at your rise from the ashes. Then you have someone who drives a brand new Mustang and totals it. So there you go. It's just crazy. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to allow a bit of crosstalk. So in this section, we've got about 5-10 minutes left of the boss ladies. So what we're going to do is we're going to allow a bit of crosstalk. And what it is we're going to start a free-flowing conversation between the panelists. And the idea of this is we want to hear some closing thoughts on rising from rock bottom and adversity. So what are your closing thoughts and tips to everyone? We're going to do this in a crosstalk format. So anyone, please unmute, jump in, and feel free to crosstalk and interrupt anytime. Go for it. Someone fire the first shot.
I'll fire the first shot.
I do.
That adversity is the biggest teacher, and I think that adversity and our problems add strings to our bow as people, as coaches, as experts in our field. So I think the problems we have to sort of shift our mindset is that, those things, those challenges are actually there to serve us. They're happening for us, not to us. So use them as to your advantage. So that's my thing, is that, and I have days so easily that I'm like, oh, all this shit's happening to me. And then once I actually say to myself, well, it's actually happening for me, what can I learn from it? It changes everything. So yes, that's my closing thought.
Oh,
Yeah, I agree with it. Yeah. Totally. And I think the other aspect, and this has probably come through with every single person, is the support of other people. And even if it's not the physical support that you have in the day-to-day people that are around you, I think as Christine was saying before, there are always people that can help you. Always, always, always. You can, and whether that's online or whether it's reading a book or whether it's reaching out to someone, there is always going to be support there for you that can help you get through it regardless of what your circumstances are. And I think that, that is such an important thing, to have people around you or resources around you to support you, because you can get through it. Doesn't matter what it is.
And look where that adversity leads us. For most of us, the reasons that we're doing what we're doing now is because of the adversity we had to go through. And we want to educate, show support, help, whatever we want to call it, other people through the same thing. And that's where our passion comes from, because we know what the pain was then. We know how we got through it, whether we did it the right way or the wrong way. And through that, we learn things. And through that, now we want to push it forward and show people or help people with the same thing.
And just jumping in real quick, we've got a great comment, doesn't always show up on StreamYard, from Shannon Simons. Great seeing you, Shannon. Shannon's a great friend of ours. Perspective is a funny thing. Adaptability is both an ability and a skill. As Christina stated earlier, is the how. I believe it's the how that teaches us. So deep and profound. What other crosstalks do we have, ladies? Jump all in.
I think what I would like to add to that is that we gotta, and I had this conversation last night with someone at our social event. We gotta stop focusing on the problem. We gotta stop focusing on the solution. I have the problem; it's here. It's not like it's right in front of me, and I might have more than one problem. I might have 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 different problems, and it might feel like life really sucks. And if I'm on this side of the river and I want to go on that side of the river, I might not know exactly how I'm going to be on the other side, but I might know how far I can go up until here. Right? So I might see a first stone, second stone, third stone. So sometimes we might just need to focus on, like, okay, instead of focusing on the problem, let's focus on how do I get on the first stone, and then from there I'll have a different perspective, as our audience was saying, or I might meet someone there that can really show me or teach me or inspire me on how to get to the second stone, and so on. So if you have a problem, you're going through a breakup, you're going through a health issue, you just lost someone, the more you stay and focusing on that, the bigger it's going to get. You can't move from there because all you see is just that loss. So how can I still make my life great from this moment? What is it that I can be grateful for, right? Because once we move into, like, what is it that I can do, and what support do I have, as I think it was Nicole that said, I love that, if you have support. I have a woman in States, a friend of mine, she's going through 4-stage cancer. She's a single mom, okay, and she has an amazing business, and now she is dealing just with cancer. But she has an amazing support system around her. So build that amazing support system around you that can lift you up when you can't, and that you can borrow their beliefs in you or your situation when you might not have the strength to do so.
Oh my God, well said. A few reactions. We've got Tanya Leshev with us from Facebook. I stopped using the word problem, started to use word puzzle problem. Exactly. How can you solve it? Great seeing you, Tanya. And we've got one of our old friends, Project Mama from YouTube, who's come in. There's always a way. You need to look for a way and know where to look for it. Just incredible, just incredible. Now, we've got a few minutes left. What we're going to do right now is, just in finishing up, thank you for watching, everyone. Like, share, comment. We're just going to go around the room really quick and just hear about what these powerful boss ladies do professionally. So if you need them if you want to connect with them from a networking point of view, do it. If you need what they're doing professionally, reach out to them. They're amazing ladies you can trust. Nicole, tell us very quickly what you do professionally and businessy.
So I run Wise Learn Education. I teach little people about stress and relaxation, and I help parents and educators to support their children to integrate human skills into their day-to-day practices to support their children to be more calm and connect with themselves better and connect with other people better.
Oh, love it, Nicole. Just jumping in, another great reaction from Janine Cunningham, one of our great friends from Brisbane. I think some of the things is a challenge rather than problems. The situation is here to teach me something. I'm grateful for the opportunities. That's why you're a very successful, powerful lady, Janine Cunningham. Amazing. Sabina, tell us what you do very quickly, professionally and worksy. What do you do?
Worksy and professionally,
Worksy.
I'm a health and performance coach, and I help business leaders and leaders increase their energy and performance so that they can build a better, more sustainable business. I do that through 3 pillars, which is mindset, nutrition, and sleep and movement.
Oh, in the zone, Sabina. Thank you. Loretta Remy, tell us what you do professionally, my powerful leadership friend.
So my company is Confidence, Clarity, and Connections, and I help with self-image and self-confidence so that people can be successful in their business by knowing and owning their powers. I'm also a market partner with Monate Hair Care, and now a author with a book coming out next week.
Oh, you didn't tell me about your book. Stop right there. Tell us more about the book, Loretta. Yeah, I like you, Loretta. You always just slip cool things under the radar. Tell us about the book. I didn't know that.
It's a compilation book, and this one is only a chapter, but it's finding your inner beauty, and it's kind of about my struggle and what I went through with my breast cancer.
That's a great. It's great that we've had this conversation because it's very timely,
Yes.
isn't it, right?
It like fit right in and stuff. So
Where can you buy it, Loretta?
I will find out more, and I'll definitely post it in our
something
group
we
and
can have.
everything. Yeah.
See, all you ladies, like I'm a typical insecure guy. The moment we achieve nothing, we go yap, 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 yap. You ladies get run over by a truck or do something really cool. You don't tell anyone. So there we go. Yeah, I love you ladies. There we go. We need to do more boss ladies. No, seriously, Ro, when the book's out, send us the link. We're going to pump that link everywhere. It's very exciting.
Thank you.
There we go. And we're going to finish up with Christina Davey. Tell us what you do professionally, my powerful friend.
Well, I am empowering singles navigate a breakup, develop confidence and dating skills to choose the right partner, and also develop thriving relationships. Most people have a pattern in their love life that they're not aware of. Most people don't see how, and why their love life is where it is right now. And again, it goes back to the how. Most people don't know how to get to have a partner that's loving, supportive, inspiring, meeting their emotional needs. And unfortunately, that means that many people now choose to stay single rather than being in a relationship, simply because they don't know the how. And I noticed there is a protection, from like not failing again in a relationship. I'm just going to stay out of dating completely. Right. Yeah. I'm okay to be single. It's actually a form of protection. There's nothing wrong to be single, by the way. It's awesome. Please stay single as well. But also look at everything else in your life. You're doing something to have a good health. You're doing something to have a business. You're doing something to have a career or a job. You're doing something to have kids. What are you doing for your love life?
And I think if I could just jump in as well, Christina, I think as health and performance, a love life is really important. It's part of health. It's holistic. I mean, again, like you said, you don't need to be but it's something that shouldn't be just sort of discredited. Don't discredit the power and health it is. I was telling my husband this today, about how people, when they're having someone with them, it's so important. So sorry, just jumping in.
And I love your hubby. He's so amazing and so supportive of what you do. But
he is an angel, I have to say.
So,
I haven't told him the latest. Just
And
surprise him.
And he's got cool white hair, so he's got the angel. He does look like an angel, actually. You can imagine him with like the big sword.
Honestly,
Like in sort of a gothic horror film, you can imagine him as a good angel that saves you at the end.
Well, he's actually he actually is did some acting at university. That's what he did there. So he did
Not surprised at all.
quite a few movies, but he was always the bad guy. He's got a bad look about him, but he's soft as a teddy bear, soft as anything.
There we go. The softest ones are always the biggest killers. There we go. So there we go. Kill your will. Now, love your work. Hold just a few closing thoughts. We've got Janine Cunningham. We love you. Thank you, Ed and the ladies, for Inspiration Insights. Love to connect with you all. Thank you for giving today. Yes. And of course, we've got Cirrus with us. Great seeing you, Cirrus. One of those discussions which needs courage. And these boss ladies here have courage by the tanker loads, and we love you. And of course, a closing from Mary Scott. Thank you, valuable contribution. So, friends, thank you for watching. Like, share, comment, connect with these boss ladies. Love your work all. Please make some noise. Thank you, ladies and everyone. Stay awesome.
Bye.
One day we'll have to listen to about you and your adversity. I'll have